TCC 35. 35. We back in full effect. I know it's not Tuesday, but we are back with another episode. Roll that intro. We're back, TCC 35, man. I was thinking all day and yesterday and the day before that what we could do, what could we call it, and came up with just Excursion. Excursion. If you haven't noticed the theme already, yes, we are rocking that good old Fresno State Bulldog gear. I am an alumni of Fresno State, and we had the actual luxury of going back to the campus with our youth. It was amazing. We were actually probably roll some little B-roll is what they call it, I guess. Forgive me. I'm learning this whole, recording thing and editing and all that good stuff. So, yeah, we got some footage actually from Fresno State. We actually were able to go down on the actual basketball court with the basketball players, and the youth were out there, shooting some hoops, as they call it. Now they was out there balling and whatnot, or trying to. They were airballing. I don't think one of them made one bucket. Now, mind you, the rim is the same height as it is at their school. But for whatever reason, when them lights got bright, I don't know. I just seen a lot of air balls, right? But no, they were actually, exposed to something that they've never seen before. As you can see with the little footage that we'll show, they were actually able to walk through the tunnel where the players run out of to play basketball during the games. And they played New Mexico that night, and they won. What's that? I want to say they won by 2 points, I think. 1 or 2 points. I'll put the score up right here in a minute. But Orlando Robinson, he had like 28, dropped 28 on the heads that night. So it was amazing, man. It was phenomenal. We went to the game we went to shoot around. Right? And they had a blast. The young men did. Now, the exposure that I'll speak of during this excursion wasn't just that. Honestly, that might have been the highlight of their day, but there was much more to that day, right? We were able to expose these young men to something that they've never been exposed to beyond the sport. We went a little deeper in regard to letting them know what it takes to get to play that sport at Fresno State. So we went to the campus and we had a tour of the library. And then we had a presentation done by Jessie, and I'm so sorry if I forget your name. I believe her name was Kelly, with financial aid and then just admissions. It was phenomenal. The young men were in there. They were inquisitive. They were asking questions that I was taken aback a little bit, like, wow, okay, that was a great question. Like, okay, so if I get this financial aid check, do I have to pay it back? Or what's the difference between a financial aid check and a Pell Grant? Do I have to pay the Pell Grant back? Oh, wait, so if I'm good enough at this sport, you mean I can get a scholarship and I don't have to pay anything? Meaning I can live, I can eat, and I can go to school and play my sport? These are things that they hear of, but they don't understand, or they didn't understand the ins and the outs of it until they were exposed to it, right? Financial aid, admissions. Didn't stop there though. It didn't stop there. So my old professor, Dr. Matthew Jindian, I still have a great relationship with him to this day. And I took his class the first class with him over 20 years ago. And we're still good friends, actually. He's helped me out a lot. I spoke about him many a times. So he actually had his class that day. I believe it was Soch 132. I'm drawing a blank, but anyway, he had his class. So he invited all of us to his class. We had high schoolers just sitting in, being a part of a college lecture with Dr. Matthew Jindian. It was freaking phenomenal. Phenomenal. The kids, even in that setting, were inquisitive, asking questions, attentive, and engaged. And Dr. J he didn't throw me under the bus, because at no point in time could he ever do that to me, because our relationship is just, it's golden. All right. But when we walk in, we get seated. I'm sitting down. He's like, "Oh no, Nick, I want you to get up and tell the people a little bit about." And I was like, "What?" So mind you, in this whole excursion, I have to lead by example. So when I'm put on the spot, what are you going to do? Just like our youth, when you're put in a situation, pressure does two things: bust pipes or makes diamonds. So under this time where Dr. J is like, "Hey, Nick, I want you to step up." So I had to step up to the plate for myself, and leading by example and being that example to these young men. So I got up and I did what I love to do, and that was talk to the youth about what we're doing here at the Troy Center. And that's why we're here. Once again, this is transparency. We're trying to show you all out there who can't actually come to us what exactly it is that we're doing here at the Troy Center. We are really, truly reviving our youth. Within this class session, I did what I needed to do. I talked. Dr. J got up and he talked about his things, and he gave this great example about his son. His son is now a freshman at Fresno State. Today, March 2nd, is the deadline for the financial aid application for seniors who will be going to a college in the fall, right? So we spoke about that in Dr. J's class, because the young men had just learned that during the presentation with financial aid and admissions. So Dr. J went on to say the information about that process and submission of the application, it's there, but who's getting it? Best believe his son got that information. And why is that? Because his father is a professor at Fresno State. So he has that information, right? These young men, how do they get that information? It comes to find out that out of, I want to say, 8 of the youth, none of them, or they rarely talk to their counselor. and this is not a knock on a counselor or any of that. This is just what it is. We got to speak true. We have to be transparent. So now the encouragement is there for them to go and sit down and talk to their counselor, their guidance counselor, whatever the case may be, right? You have the information now. You can't say you didn't know now. I was in there with you and I heard. So you know. So now you have the information, but what are you going to do with it? You have to apply it in order for it to be some type of power. They say knowledge is power. It's potential power. It's what you do with it that generates the power, right? So yeah, yesterday was our big, that was Monday, our big excursion. And the young man got to go and tour Fresno State. They got to eat on campus at the RDH, where the students who are currently enrolled at Fresno State that live in the dorms, they eat at the RDH. I think it's the residential dining hall, I believe. And yeah, it was like a buffet style type of dinner. And then we tried to go to the game, but we had some technical difficulties with the game. But we'll get into that at a later date. But this is a great start for what we're doing over with the students at McLean High School. We were able to take them to Fresno State, tour the campus, get to do the shoot around with the players, and it was a great time, great experience. Just want to shout out Tim Shelton the coach over at Fresno State, and the entire coaching staff and all the players over there. Thank you for having us. And the boys, they really, really enjoyed themselves. And from what I understand, they can't stop talking about it. All right. So we just want to say thank you. And for those of you all who are not subscribed to our channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Like I said in the last one, I think I'll put the clip up here about, was it petty? Yeah, if you don't hit that little button, that's just petty behavior. Come on now, you can just click the little button, the like button or something. But no, we're doing this. We're here to stay here in the Central Valley. See, we represent Go Dogs for sure. And we just want to know, like always, who's going to join us. Let us know. TCC 35. We out. Go Dogs. Peace.